Yeah, all right. Aaron Rodgers is kind of getting put in timeout.
What's going on? Poor guy.
Your boyfriend, Donna, watched the documentary on Aaron Rodgers and was like, I kind of am interested in this guy. Kind of like him. You heard him talk longer form about some stuff.
He's a very thoughtful guy. You know what I mean? He doesn't just say stuff. He's well researched. You know, he doesn't just say things off the cuff.
You might agree with him.
He's thought about things.
Yeah, you might agree with him on things. You might disagree with him on things.
But you're like, at least he's educated about the topic.
All right. Yeah, he's put in some time trying to back up his stuff.
I mean, he's a little kooky. He's a kooky guy.
Well, he's an unemployed guy because on Thursday, February 13th, the New York Jets said bye now. They announced it yesterday that they had met with the 41-year-old quarterback last week and said, hey, we are going to be moving forward without you next season.
So did he make it 2 seasons?
He made it 2 seasons, but his first season, you might remember, was cut short with an Achilles tendon tear opening night of the season, Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
He ran out with an American flag onto the field, all this pomp and circumstance. The savior of the New York Jets had arrived, compliments of Green Bay. And then he tore his Achilles 4 plays into the game.
Yeah.
And was out the rest of the year.
And then
this year
worked his tail off trying to get back in game shape, whatever you call it.
Mm-hmm. Well, he got back, but it was another disappointing season for the Jets. Their head coach, among others, ended up getting fired during the season. And the new coach said, let's go in a different direction. Let's not, my first year here, let it not be with a 41-year-old quarterback who we're trying to see if he's still got it. So now Aaron Rodgers will no longer be on the Jets. Perhaps for the first time in his NFL career, next year he might play for a team that doesn't have green in their uniform.
I was just going to say, aren't they both green? Yeah,
they are both green. So we'll see where he goes. One of the possible destinations has been my Pittsburgh Steelers, and if the Steelers organization is listening, I would just like to say, please don't let us not do that. Please.
Do you think he's past his prime or past? Like he's no Brett Favre or Tom Brady.
Well, Brett Favre actually had an interesting thing because he went from the Packers all those years, and then he had a little bit of a renaissance with the Jets, and then had a little bit of then retired again, then had another renaissance with the Vikings.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, so I think he could squeeze out another productive year or two, but you'd have to be a pretty quarterback desperate team to go in the direction of Aaron Rodgers. Meanwhile, Taylor Swift's boyfriend had, I guess, kind of an ultimatum given to him. Just a few days removed from losing the Super Bowl to the Philadelphia Eagles, Travis Kelce has been given a deadline from the Kansas City Chiefs to make a decision about his retirement. The Athletic reported yesterday that Travis Kelce will have to make a decision by March 14th about whether or not he will retire from the NFL. So sometimes these athletes will let it drag on. They'll go into mini camp, voluntary offseason workouts, then training camp, and it's like, will he, won't he? But they're saying we want this decision before the NFL draft happens. Because if we are losing you, that's going to change our strategy to what kind of players we would like to draft.
Yeah, it seems like only fair to the team, right? When is the draft?
Early April.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they're like, we want a few weeks to shift it.
That's fair.
I think it's fair. I think the interesting thing about this, particularly of someone of Travis Kelce's fame and the impact that he's had on the Kansas City Chiefs organization. It's a little interesting that they have said this because I do think it's a prudent thing to do if you run the team, but not all teams have done it, particularly with star players. They kind of sit back and say, let us know. They need to take some time and we hope we get them.
So,
but
okay.
The timeline just feels a little bit different. So I could see Travis Kelce feeling a little like, wait a minute. You're giving me I want to be respectful, but you know how in a negotiation like that, sometimes all you got to hear is one wrong piece of information and you can take it the wrong way.
Right. So I have questions. Why has he said he wants to retire? Because everything I've heard has not sounded that way, with one exception.
Yeah, he's been non-committal about it, but there was
Is his contract up?
No, I don't think so.
So why would they even throw that out there?
There's just been a lot of rumor about, is this happening? My understanding was, I think a couple of weeks ago, maybe it was during Super Bowl press day, that he said he felt like he could play for another 3 or 4 years and loves being around the guys and enjoys football. But so I don't know if it's just the apparent pull of post-football life that is already thrust upon Travis Kelce, not only with his relationship to Taylor Swift, but he's also got his New Heights podcast with his brother, which probably at this point makes him more money than he makes on the football field. In addition to that, Ryan Murphy hired him for one of his shows. He's starting to do some acting stuff. He's hosting that. Are You Smarter Than a Fifth grader?
Fifth, sixth, whatever.
And
or celebrity. Are you smarter than a celebrity?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
I don't know.
I don't care.
I don't care. He's just another famous person taking all of these hosting jobs. So he has to be my arch nemesis.
Oh, sure. I get it.
There are no Pat Sajaks anymore, you know?
It's true.
It's always actors.
Yeah.
Famous
or
people.
Influencers.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Donna. Yeah. Hey, don't forget, follow Donna at Valentine
Why
Donna.
are you doing that?
Just trying
What
to
are you doing that for?
I'm just trying to get you followers. What's your last
great,
post?
thanks. Wow.
I'll find it.
It may have been dog related, or it may have just been me reposting something you posted. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Hey, is it me, or does People Magazine have a lot of Debbie Downer stories?
Oh, for sure.
I've never noticed that until like this year.
Oh.
I'm like, geez, every tragic story that could possibly exist. Like,
yeah, terrible.
Tragic.
Terrible.
Like,
terrible.
what are you doing?
Yeah. And talk about news that you don't need shared.
Yeah.
There is so much news that we don't need to know. And frankly, is contributing to our mental health crisis.
I think you're
because you're learning suddenly a human being is now made aware of not just something bad that happened in your community, a fire down the street. Now you're learning about all the fires in the state. Now you're learning about all of the tragedies, corruption, all of it that is happening in all parts of the world that will never directly impact you. And so it's showing you images. Yeah. How could that not impact your mental health?
Well,
and it's everywhere.
Hey, all right, while we're at it. How about the news? Oh my God, the national news. I know a lot of people don't watch the news anymore, but holy moly, the first 6, 7 stories are all bad news. And then at the end, they sneak in a little
squirrel on jet skis.
Good news.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or somebody who made a donation or helped somebody in the community in need. It's like,
I've always said, and I just don't, there is so much more good news in your community, my community, in the Twin Cities, in this country than we are made aware of because we point the spotlight on the bad stuff. You know the old saying, Donna, if it bleeds, it leads.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Me neither. Me neither. But you probably wouldn't watch if it was just squirrels on jet skis and here was an intramural basketball game where something fun happened and all that.
How about like the Vikings win or blah, 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 or that kind of stuff. But
they do that.
I know, but they put it in a little pocket somewhere. Let's start with the good stuff.
There you go. Flip the rundown.
Yes.
There
if you want to
go.
stick around for the bad stuff, you can.
Okay, Donna, I'm with you there. It's an important thing, but yeah, maybe we shuffle up the rundown. That's it.
All right.
I gotta take off.
All right, I'm going to go too then.